iHeartRadio Broadway, driven by Mercedes-Benz. The best or nothing.
I had heard that they had done Company with Bobby as a woman, and I thought, well, that's really interesting and really cool, and I'm so happy that Sondheim is amenable to these new interpretations of his work. And so when it was coming to Broadway, I thought, wow, that's great. It's succeeding and it's coming to Broadway. Awesome. But I didn't necessarily consider even the possibility that I would be a part of it. And then the audition came, and then I reread the script, and I reread the scenes, and I reread this character, Paul. And when I reread it, I said, oh no, I think I have to do this. I think this character is me, and I have to tell this story.
I did hear they were doing it in London, and I desperately wanted to go and see it. I knew that Marianne was directing it, and so I was just over the moon about it, and hoping it would come here so that I could see it. And that's kind of as far as my brain went at the beginning. And then when I heard that it was transferring and maybe there might be a new cast, then I was like, oh, maybe.
It was everything I imagined, and it was one of the best processes that I've ever gone through, because Marianne is generous and it's a safe environment. She's funny, she's incredibly creative, she's incredibly smart, and she has a concept. You know, we work with directors that don't necessarily have a concept or don't know how to help actors, and Marianne does. So, and I wanted to work with her, and I put that out in the universe, and it came back.
Unbelievable. I was pooping my pants. I couldn't believe it. I saw this show when I was 14 years old. It was the first Sondheim show I ever saw. It changed my life. It made me want to be an actor, and I can't believe that I'm truly, man.
I know, that's amazing. I didn't know that. Oh, we're having a moment.
We're getting this happy. Yeah, it's a real honor to be a part of the show's legacy and to be a part of such a revolutionary take on an already revolutionary show. It's very, very cool.
I had heard that there was a gender swap, and I think in my head I thought all the roles were gender swap.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't even on my radar. I was really happy doing. I was so yes, but I was so
If
happy.
Harry was like, I know jujitsu, yeah, show me, just like kicking your ass.
So I really didn't. It didn't occur to me.
Yeah.
I was busy doing Mean Girls, which was wonderful, and then this audition came. I went, oh, there's a role. Oh, I didn't. That's how.
Yeah, we're one of the couples that didn't really change at all, which
yeah,
is great.
ours is tradition. Ours is
pretty much the same.
pretty much the same. Yeah.
But different because we're
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
The casting process was a joy. I mean, I came out a few times, but I worked with my really close friend, Cindy Tolan, who helped me cast it. And I think because it was Stephen Sondheim, and I think because it was this iconic piece, a lot of people were willing to come in and talk to me about it. I didn't know that they were stars. I just thought, oh, wow, they're really good. I'd quite like them. And they all said yes.
As the cast kept rolling out when they were announcing people, it was like, and that person, and that, and them too. Oh my God. It was like very exciting.
And each person kind of has their own little moment in the show, so we really do get to kind of sit and watch people do their thing, which is really fun.
It's really wonderful.
It's very fun to get to watch the show. I wish I could watch the show.
Yes, oh my God.
I would love to see this show.
It's always funny to be here talking to you about it, because we did our final run through today, and we've just been in the trenches, just like learning, trying to learn, a 10-minute side-by-side number where we don't stop dancing and it's crazy. But then when you're asked the question and you reflect for a second, it's like, oh yeah, it's kind of incredible. And the people in the room are incredible. And Marianne is incredible. And George Firth and Stephen Sondheim are incredible. And it's like just a gift.
It does feel, though, like an empowering move also, saying, women are single, women they have active social lives, women are independent, we can do these things that previously maybe were only written for, men to do. So it's an intimidating thing, and also, like you said, it's really empowering, and I am thrilled and honored to get to be able to do it.
My character is very close to home, I think, for me. I struggle with crazy anxiety and panic attacks on a daily basis, and Jamie means so well and is so passionate, but he is very self-destructive because he's so afraid of letting such a wonderful person down.
And I play Paul, who is Jamie's fiance, who is very loving maybe a little overly loving, and but he's really kind. He's a caretaker, and he loves Jamie for everything that he is, for his flaws and for his virtues, and he's just the ultimate caretaker, the ultimate kind soul, I think.
I feel like it's been a while since a full-blown production and revival has happened, and especially because we've in having the freedom to create things and make them our own, we've also had the freedom to kind of rewrite and zhuzh up and update certain parts of the script. So it just feels very now. So yeah.
Yeah, there's something really significant about having a woman at the center of it, you know, in ways that it probably made a lot of sense for a man to be at the center of it in the 70s. There's something that's really kind of beautiful about a woman being at the center of it in 2020, you know, in this time where like our parents were, I don't know, my parents at least, could have a piece of the American dream. They could own property. They could have a family. They could, you know, and there's something about a woman who's of a certain age, 30-something, in New York City, and none of she has access to none of these things, you know.
It is fun. It's been interesting too working with Marianne on like bringing a pot smoking scene from 1970 into 2020 and like how to adjust that to still be relevant at this time when pot is ubiquitous. So
some of it's challenging because this, you know, the sensibility of the show and what they were talking about then and what we're talking about now and how we can kind of nudge it in our direction has been challenging, but challenges are fun when you're making theater.
But to tell this story with two men, as opposed to a man and a woman as it was written in 1970, it just uncovers so many new layers in 2020 of what does it mean for two men to be getting married now that it is legal? What does it mean for a man to have anxiety about getting married? Something that
now that we have the right, and is that okay? And is that okay to feel those things just because we can? Should we? And also just to sit down with a director like Marianne Elliott and find the specificity in this song. I do think that sometimes it can become a bit of a party trick and you just like, look how fast I can do it. And Marianne is just so smart and so intuitive that she is she broke it down, every single lyric, every single beat, and it has just been, it's just been so eye-opening.
This was great because it gave us an opportunity to revisit it and go, that kind of worked in the way we wanted it to, or that didn't maybe go down quite as well, or maybe we could do that a bit more, or maybe we could just change that, or maybe clearer about that. It just enables you to perfect it, because theatre is never stale, is it? You know, it's always live and you're always learning from it. Every single night in front of an audience, you're learning about it. And so it was brilliant to get the opportunity to try it again. But because they're new actors, apart from Patty, they all bring new things to it. And I wanted it to be fresh, and I wanted it to feel like it was grown from the base here. And they had a lot to teach me about New York as well. So, I mean, I've always been totally in love with New York and been here a lot in my adult life because I'm sort of a bit obsessed. But they had a lot to tell me about it as well. So it just went its own way, and that's just glorious.
If you have an environment where everyone feels safe to create, safe to make mistakes, safe to not be perfect, you're going to get the best out of people, and it is a thrill to work with someone like that.
One of my favorite things that Marianne said, I think on the first or second day, was that we are not recreating the show we did in London. You guys are creating this version for Broadway. Yeah. And that is so refreshing to hear, because a lot of the times when another show will, you come from, well, so-and-so did it like this. So she did not want that. She wanted us to create that, which is so great. But like what Jennifer said, it's the whole idea of letting us discover it with her help rather than her telling us what to do. And the nurturing that she's able to do, she's the best. She's absolutely the best. The biggest cheerleader, and always on our side.
Yeah.
Oh, it's heaven. I love coming to work.
Yeah.
It's the best, hardest work I've ever had to do.
Yeah.
Close your mouth and open your ears. You can learn so much from these extraordinary people. And yeah, I think we all count ourselves very lucky to be a part of this company of people.
I hope they laugh. It's pretty funny. And it's, it's a wonderful book. That's the other thing that Marianne has done that's so incredible. She's lifted George Firth's book and brought it to the front. You don't normally do that with musicals. So the book is usually the last thing you rehearse, and it's pretty much the first thing she rehearsed.
I mean, I'm pinching myself, truly. They're so funny and brilliant, and it's a joy to be in the room with these people every day. I mean, we're constantly laughing and constantly discovering things and being inspired by, I'm inspired always by all the work everyone is doing, and it's like an incredible experience. I'm very lucky.
iHeartRadio Broadway, driven by Mercedes-Benz. The best or nothing.